All right, everyone. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. That's right. My Halloween costume this year is... Ta-da! Get it? I'm a ditto. Oh, I knew you weebs would like it. Not even Robin can top this look. Ew, no! Do me and the world a favor. Find a long bridge and walk off it. Get out of my face.
So, what a time for me to go on vacation, huh? Okay, seriously, it's been years since I've seen my family, and they actually scheduled everything they wanted to do with me and my husband around this time of the year, wouldn't you know it? I thought to myself, well, I can still try to edit a Halloween review while I'm out here, right? Well, there's two factors that got in the way. I'm sure you can guess one of them! And secondly, yeah, my parents don't really have, good internet speed, so, here we are. Basically, I had to rely on my hard drives to choose my next anime to review for the Halloween season and allow my awesome Patreon supporters to vote for one of them. Their choices were Visual Prison, starring singing vampires in an overly dramatic yet fabulous battle of the bands. The Laughing Salesman, a spooky cautionary anthology series featuring a humanoid version of Apple's terms and conditions. Angel of Death, an amnesiac girl finds herself in a deadly maze for her life, along with the deadliest husbando in anime. And finally, we have Soul Eater Not, aka Soul Eater Moe. Well, at least most of these titles are very interesting to review, so let's see what the Patreon supporters voted for. Ha! Well then, you sure about this? Soul Eater Not? Okay then. Here we go. Soul Eater, one of the most iconic anime to debut in the late 2000s that became instantly popular because of its style, aesthetics, and overall presentation. It was dark with a Halloween gothic flair mixed in with urban street styles, so this naturally appealed to every anime fan who shopped at Hot Topic. Not that I would know or anything. Anyways, in comes Soul Eater Not, a prequel series also created by the original mangaka Atsushi Ōkubo that would go deeper into the world of Death City. But yeah, something seems a bit different with this one. I just can't put my finger on it. This story focuses on a young girl named Tsugumi Harudori and... Huh?
What is this? Oh dear.
Aw, she just hit weapon puberty. Since Tsugumi discovered that she is indeed a weapon, she is sent to attend the DWMA, which stands for Death Weapon Meisters Academy, in order to control her powers and figure out what she wants to do in life. While attending her first class, she meets two Meisters named Anya Hepburn, who totally isn't a tsundere princess or anything, Baka, and Meme Tadane, who... I'm convinced her middle name is Dory, if you know what I mean.
Could you please tell me where I came from and where I'm going? I don't quite remember.
What?
Both of them seem to like Tsugumi and want to partner with her as their weapon, so Tsugumi has to try and master her abilities while also figuring out who will be her partner, Meme or Anya. So as you can tell with the overall reception and reviews, Soul Eater Not got mixed reactions. As a whole, this series adds a bit more world building within Death City in regards to academic ranks within the DWMA, holidays celebrated, politics and royalty, protection agencies, and more. They even added a few answers to questions we never really asked to begin with the first series, like, what if a weapon didn't want to take on a professional career as a demon weapon rank? Or, are all witches in this world evil and vindictive? Soul Eater Not provides more development than expected, and I appreciated all the extra insights this show was able to provide. But as you can tell with the overall presentation...
I'm a teenage girl who's in love with love. Oh, squishy, so comfortable. Kansas! You have such lovely slender legs, why not show them off a little? I'm a lady. How precious. No! Stop it, May-May! Tickle, 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 tickle.
Yeah, you can see why everyone's mixed on this. As I pointed out earlier, Soul Eater had a style that defined the original show. The hip gothic aesthetics with creative backgrounds and character designs made the show stand out in the best ways possible. So why would Atsushi Ōkubo take this amazing style and say to himself, you know what this show needed? Cutesy moe waifus.
Wow!
Even the logo went from a soul looking grimacing and mischievous to,
This is Soul Eater!
okay, never doing that again.
I hate you and that voice.
Thanks. I'll admit, after watching this series again, I got a lot more than I remember. Mostly because all I could remember was not really liking the show for being a moe version of the original show. Soul Eater was cool, stylish, and fun. Soul Eater Not is cute, moe, and close enough. At least this was how the audience reacted to the overall presentation of Soul Eater Not. But was it warranted? I mean, I'd say yes and no. When you break Soul Eater Not's plot down to its basics, it's a simple show about a young girl discovering that she's a weapon, and what she needs to do from there. This is a really basic but great idea for a prequel to Soul Eater considering where the original show started us. We see Maka chasing after a witch's soul in order to turn her partner's soul into a death scythe. We learn what it takes to become a real death scythe, and what happens when you mess up, which is where the story takes place from. So we know what it takes to become a death scythe, but not what a character goes through when they find out that they are a weapon. So Tsugumi's story isn't unwarranted. It's welcomed, actually. We also learn that there are two different ranks in the DWMA. The EAT rank, which stands for Especially Advantaged Talent rank, who have students like Soul and Maka, and the NOT rank, which stands for Normally Overcome Target, which features first-year students like Tsugumi, Anya, and Meme. The NOT rank is not just a rank for the first-year students, but also for students who aren't interested in becoming professional weapons and meisters, but still need to harness and control their abilities in order to live a somewhat normal life. As a prequel idea for Soul Eater, this setup is perfect. And yet we throw these characters into typical moe scenarios like going to school, thinking about senpai, comparing boob sizes, working at a cafe just to put our girls in maid costumes, getting ready for the school festival, friendship montages, and need I say more. Not to mention, these new girls have characteristics you can pull from any other moe show, such as the clumsy protagonist who makes mistakes but has a heart of gold, the ditzy one who's extremely forgetful and quirky, the snooty princess whose blood type is 100% tsundere, the weird and quiet one, the punk bully type who just wants to be alone but secretly wants a friend, the strict type with a blushy crush on her senpai, the sweet one who tends to get picked on the most, and psychotic mom.
I can imagine what you might be thinking of me, but you see, Paul, it's all okay.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
Do you know about the early days of the Kimberly Diamond Mines?
I worry for every girl in this dormitory. Ugh. But as I said earlier, the negative reaction towards the show is and isn't warranted. Does the moe formula ruin the vibe for a Soul Eater story? Yes. Does that mean there's no reason to not watch this prequel?
Kill yourself, girl.
No, don't!
Not really. Soul Eater Not offers a lot in regards to world building, but it also provides interesting developments that took me by surprise. The obvious one I can point to is the character development of Liz and Patty Thompson. We knew them as the two sisters who grew up in the Bronx, who eventually team up with Death the Kid as his weapons. Soul Eater Not shows us that the transition from the Bronx to Death City wasn't the smoothest since they took the thug life with them. This made them extremely aggressive, ruthless, and unsympathetic towards anyone who crossed them, but they had to learn through Tsugumi's intentions and from their employer that they don't have to be so defensive in a safe town like this. There's also the interesting case of Kim, a bully in the girls' dormitory who really doesn't want to be around people due to her secret. And I'm just gonna spoil this little detail here since it's part of my argument, but spoiler warnings just in case. Kim is actually a witch. Witches are usually classified as mortal enemies to the DWMA, so being a witch within Death City is usually a death sentence. Kim is willing to take the risk, however, since she really doesn't want to be a witch. If she wants to use her powers, she's going to use them to help others and heal them if they're injured. Overall, she just wants to live a normal life away from the witch's coven, and use her powers for good. So even though Soul Eater sets up most witches to be vindictive and vengeful towards Death City, it's nice to have another good witch like Angela. But speaking of evil witches, we have the Scorpion Queen herself, Shaula Gorgon. Honestly, I am absolutely obsessed with her character design. I mean, every witch from the Soul Eater universe is iconic, like Medusa, Erica, Mizune, and especially Arachne, the Spider Queen. But Shaula's design to me just takes the crown. Not to mention, she is a very impressive villain to face. If she stings you with her venom, she can instantly control you and turn you into the most obedient soldier that doesn't even require sleep. Her tactics towards infiltrating the DWMA and taking over Death City was nearly foolproof. Like, she could have easily taken over the city with her powers alone. And she would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for these meddling kids and the power of friendship. Honestly, it was Shaula's nearly perfect scheme to take over Death City that took this prequel back to its roots. It honestly felt like the only element that connects the prequel to the original story. I mean, sure, we have Death City, cameos from our favorite characters, and some more world building related to Soul Eater as a whole, but a simple story about a girl going to school to learn about being a weapon and throwing in all of these moe elements that I mentioned before didn't make me feel like I was watching a Soul Eater story. That is until Shaula Gorgon came into the story. So yeah, I can understand why Soul Eater Not has mixed reactions, but I can honestly say it's not a waste of time or effort. Yeah, the moe elements seem more like pointless fluff than actual story elements, but this prequel still has a lot to give to the world of Soul Eater. We got ourselves another wickedly evil witch, and another good witch just wanting to live her own life. We know more about the DWMA and where Weapon and Meisters start off before getting to Maka and Soul's level, but also learning that they don't have to be at their level and need the academy to learn how to live their lives with their new abilities. I honestly didn't look forward to reviewing this prequel since I barely remembered liking the show and only remembered the cutesy moe stuff that everyone else didn't really like. But rewatching the series made me appreciate what it honestly had to offer the world of Soul Eater, and I can appreciate it for that. If you want to watch some anime for Halloween that isn't too scary, Soul Eater is still the better choice. But if you have some time, I'd say check out Soul Eater Not. It may be cutesy, but it still has some love for the Halloween season, it's got Shaula Gorgon, and an interesting plot twist that contributes more to Meme, surprisingly, but I'm not gonna spoil it here. Look, all I can really say for her is that with these scenes,
she never seems to stay in her own bed. This note is weird. Next time is you for what? Are you kidding me?
they actually add more to the plot than I expected, and I can't say I wasn't surprised. If you'd like to check out this strange prequel, you can try to watch it on Funimation's streaming site, for now, or on Apple TV in the UK and Australia. Overall, Soul Eater Not wasn't necessarily the sequel anyone wanted due to its cutesy moe presentation, but I still think it adds more than what we expected. If you're in the mood to learn more about Death City and celebrate Halloween with a cutesy gothic flair, then check out Soul Eater Not.
Commoners are interesting to observe, but that certainly doesn't mean I want to partner with one. Quite the opposite, in fact.
Well, excuse me, princess.
I put a spell on you, and now you're gone so long.
You fight me, you face the consequences of death. Bitch.
That is when you'll choose. It's either Mei or it's me.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Oh, look. Another glorious morning. Makes me sick.
I'm sleeping, can you hear me snoring? I'm sleeping,
messing up everything.
It's been Agatha all along.
The only problem is, I can't remember what I've forgotten.
Are you kidding me?
Scorpion. Get over here!
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I'm a hex girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm a hex girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. Put a spell on you.
I don't need to go home. I'm already there. I've already won. This world is mine. These people are mine.
Alright, I'll admit, I honestly wanted Patreon to choose Visual Prison because, what can I say, it's my guilty pleasure. But again, Soul Eater Not surprised me when I revisited the show. It was a lot darker than I anticipated, so I can't really remember why I didn't like this prequel. For anyone who watched this series, what did you think of Soul Eater Not? Let me know in the comments down below. Coming up next will be our Halloween top 10 list, which will probably debut in November. But again, I was on holiday. Had a really good time with my family, and I feel a bit refreshed, but I'll do my best to get that video done ASAP. Before we wrap up, I want to give a big thank you to my Patreon supporters for helping me keep this channel alive, and for helping me with these videos. And of course, thank you all so much for watching. Happy Halloween, everyone! More awesome videos will be on the way, so stay tuned to Anime America.